Hi again. This is me, your little bundle of information. Right. Okay. Well, I found out when it comes to constitutional rights. Well, the Americans do follow their constitutional rights, and they do look at that closely, and in terms of protecting their Second Amendment rights. Now, okay, I found some bit of information. You want information? You will get it. Right? Okay. Let's have a look. In Magna Carta 12, is it Magna Carta 1220? 1215. Yeah, 1215. Also, neither nor we, our officials, will seize any land in rent in payment of a debt as long as the debtor has movable goods insufficient to discharge the debt. That means if you're in commerce and if you are a business and if you are in that um, that line of um, of duties. Right, okay. Debtor has movable goods sufficient to discharge the debt. So that means nothing that you own is a debt. It's just bought. You just bought your stuff. And a debtor's sureties, adjective, shall not be distrained upon the debtor himself, can be discharged of his debt, because he can say, well, I can pay for this, and I can pay for that. But debt, if you have a debt created currency like us now, it's £9.70, which for a £10 note, if it's costing 3p. So what you do is you put 10% to that, as you put £19.17. That means you have to pay. That's digitally created. Now that is fake derivatives, and that's not how the economy should function. In an economy which is £15 trillion in debt, which has 2% to its GDP, which is 2%, and its NGDP is 0.8%. That's how the economy is being fucked over. For it means the debtor is unable to discharge his debt. His sureties shall be answerable for it. That means if he is in arrears, that he hasn't that he has no debt to cover it. Wait a minute. The debtor is unable to discharge his debt. His sureties shall be answerable for it. That means he can sell off what he can do, but it cannot be recovered under the 1925 legislation, that the banks cannot ever take these things if the debt is created out of nothing. If they desire, they may have debtors' lands rent until they have received the satisfaction for the debt, and they paid for him, unless the debt can show the settled obligations to them. That means if you have no debt, if you have no arrears, and if you know payments, whatever, you don't have to pay it unless you got to that end. Because if you look at under the 25 legislation of 1925 Act, the banks, the government cannot recover it unless it has been taken to within reason that they have consented to the contract. That is called, and they use legalese, okay, to say, well, we want this money now. Oh, it is possible for you to have the money, right? So it's possible for you to have the money, and you can pay for it up front. Now, getting to the real meat and potatoes of this. No Scottish aid or levied in our kingdom without the general consent, unless if it is for the ransom of our person. That means we don't have to consent. You don't have to go on your. You don't have to sign anything, because if you sign, because what you got to do, if there's any debt or if there's anything, you have to sign a contract. Look at the legal terms of the contract. Look at the small print. Do you wish to pay, or do you wish to be the executor of your own debt? Okay. If the money's created out thin air, thus it should fall under the 1978. Well, I think it's the 1980 Fraud Act. Right, it has to fall under. I think it is Section 3. That you don't have to pay the debt. You don't have to pay that unless without court signature, unless without a seal, unless without the jurisprudence of the of that party, without the jurisprudence, because you can't have people to consent over the debt, because they never paid the debt. Because what you got to look at now is the legal conditions of what you got to do. So don't sign anything. If you look at that contract, maybe construed is that you need to, is that the party that has consented to it has to surrender all things. That means when you understand. Okay. Those Scottish in our kingdom without general consent or the persons, as we the persons. Our eldest son of the night and once marry our eldest daughter. That can be well, in them times that was when you brought the money in. Well, that's when you can work, and that's when you can really do stuff together. And they may be levied. To the levied from the City of London. Sorry about this. I was just responding to a Facebook friend's message. Yeah, as it says under Article 13, Article 12, it goes from Article 9, without the general consent, unless it is without the person's ransom, and the son of a knight shall marry, and that's basically if you've got money that's coming in and it can provide and what you can do. Right. The City of London shall, under Article 13, shall enjoy its ancient liberties. Get that word. Get the onomatopoeia. Get the word. ancient liberties. Ancient liberties and free customs both by land and by water. Right? Both by land, by water. We also will grant that all cities, boroughs, and ports shall enjoy the liberties of free customs. So, I'm pro-gun, okay? I'm pro-sovereignty and pro-this and pro-that. But Lancashire Police does not have to enforce the 19... Lancashire Police does not have to enforce the what's it called? The Firearms Acts. It doesn't have to enforce it, but it can create its own regulations. But that is truly with them, right? Okay. So if I was the commissioner, or if I was the chief of police, if I was a real chief of police for the whole of the people, I will stick up for their rights. I will stick up for the rights of the public, and I will open all the armories, and I'll give them back their rights to keep and bear arms, and I will do that. And I could say under the specific article that I aforementioned, I could say to Westminster, what's your fucking legislation about? You're asking me to enforce this, and I could say to the statutory and Constitutional Affairs Department and Number 10 and the Home Office to go fuck yourself. Yeah, go fuck yourself. That's what I'm gonna say. Go fuck yourself, Westminster, or Pedominster. That's what you shall be, and that's what you shall remain. As full of drug-taking pedophiles and child killers. You're working for the elite. So I can go, fuck you. That's what it says under the 9th Amendment, the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution, because it takes away the power of the central government to administer ill law, bad law. So, if they want to take that up with me, and also other things, I'll be gladly be able, and I'll be gladly be able to debate them in executive session. And I could put their dishonest claims to bed. We had rulings over it. We had with about 6 courtrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over the past 17 years, I think. I was saying, yeah, past 30 years if you look at in between. Now, we can say to the British government, you surrendering our sovereignty to a foreign power, as it says under the Declaration of Rights, under the Coronation Oath, and under your oath as ministers and officers to the Crown, which is the representative of us, the people. No prince, prelate, state, or potentate hath or ought to have any preeminence or jurisdiction or superiority within this realm. Do you get it? Do the people of this country get it? Well, honestly, they're not going to get it because, I mean, does the odd Bobby know? Does the odd Bobby know about Magna Carta? Does the odd Bobby know about the Bill of Rights? Does the odd Bobby know about the right to keep and bear arms? Does the odd Bobby know about the laws of Alfred of 807? Does the odd Bobby know about the rights that were written and that our ancestors went and fought and died for it? Not just in 2 world wars, but in the wars of old, going further back, thousands of years. And I bet they don't, because I remember listening to a radio show with someone, Yeah, I'm not going to mention the radio station, but I'm going to say he went to two MPs outside of Westminster in 2015, saying to these two MPs, do you know Magna Carta? Do you know the rights? Do you know about constitutional rights? Do you know about God-given rights? Do you know about this? And the MPs looked a bit, I don't know. I need to go to the House of Commons Record Office to find about it. I don't know. That's why, because when you keep people away from the truth, that's when you have control of them. It's the most effective way. Like gun control, it's the most effective way to control a population. So, okay, I'm just going to put this video out to Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and enjoy your night. And for my American cousins, don't let those bastards take away your guns. We're going to get our gun rights back, and I'm going to make sure of it back in this country. But don't let those fucking little bastards in your country take away your guns, because do you know my advice? Bullets first. So, bye.